Hello, everyone. Thank you for checking out this episode of Really Dicey. Today, we're going to talk about Pathfinder's Lost Omens Ancestry Guide. You may have a hard time seeing it here, but I'll put a picture of it on the side so you can see it, the cover. I have to say that I really, really like this book. Shame on Dungeons and Dragons. Shame on Wizards of the Coast. Because as they're just now revealing possible new races, as they call them, like the Dhampir or the fairies, stuff like that. Pathfinder's way ahead of the game, way ahead of them. So this book gives me the feel of old school riffs, and with riffs, if people remember the old Palladium game, or GURPS, it's you could be anything, and really with this book, the hardest thing about this book is what can't you be. I was trying to think, and there's so many ancestry options that you can be with this book. So I'm here with Max from Bone. I'm sorry, this is Manny. A little too excited about this book.
You got so excited to dive into the content.
Yeah.
So I'm an artist myself, so I found the art in this, I mean, not to undersell like the writing or the lore, but the art is phenomenal. So I was just looking at the PDF, not the book, so I wasn't flipping through pages, I was scrolling through it. But there were times when I sort of skim and skip on my first read through, but there were times where I was like, look at that, I have to read this right now. Like, what is that even? I said that more than once. I was like, what is that? Oh, there's so much cool stuff in this book.
We could spend hours talking about each ancestry. So what we want to do instead is share our top 5 ancestries that this book contains. Number 5, Grave Orc. I like the idea of an orc that specializes in necromantic energies that have resistance to it and to negative energy. And I don't know, I picture some really cool variations of that. Number 4 for me, Cactus Leshy.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just reminds me of Final Fantasy. I don't know. Just it reminds me of anime. It's just I don't know. It's like the of being a walking cactus that does D6 damage, has spikes, D6 damage, and just walking and talking, and just I don't know. Just something about that. Just to me is really, really interesting. Number 3, a polyglot android. It's this particular android tend to be that are really good with languages, and I think this reminds me so much of Data from Star Trek. So the idea of having something like that, in Pathfinder or in a fantasy setting, I don't know, it's intriguing. Reminds me a little bit of that episode in Star Trek where they're like back in Robin Hood times, and I don't know, just some fun, possible good role playing with that. Number 2, Flesh Warp. You can create your own Frankenstein monster. You could do all sorts of, if you like body horror, that's the ancestry to check out. You could do some really creative humanoids with this ancestry. And number 1, drum roll, Beastkin. And I love this is because it's not just like one specific type of animal, pretty much the best of being a lycanthrope without having the negative sides to it. And you could pick any beast. It gives you all these options. You could be a T-Rex if you wanted to be with this. With a beast can, you pretty much have the ability to change you to a hybrid form and so it just I don't know, there's just so many variations of how you can make a character with Beastkin. So Max, how about you?
Okay, there's actually a small bit of overlap in our types. So mine's not ranked, except the first one I'm going to mention is just the one because I think it's cool. Like, there's nothing deeper about it. I just think it's cool, and that is the humble Cobalt. I thought as I was flipping through, virtually flipping through, and I saw the art immediately. I was just like, oh, they're doing something different here. And I really like specifically the Dankblade crew of the Shackles, the pirate kobolds who are riding the high seas, and have some kind of a deal with a water dragon. Just thought that was crazy cool. I also liked the flesh warped. It's like you said, do you want to be Frankenstein's monster? Do you want to be this secret eldritch experiment that some mad wizard created? It's just very cool potential there for that. I also like the androids. I thought the story behind them was really cool. Although I sort of gravitated towards the artisan android, someone who was originally intended to be a craftsman of some type and have specialized tool knowledge. And I just like picture them exploring the ruins of these alien spaceships. And I was just, the story started going in my brain. I was like, oh, I could totally do this character. And then I also like the Leshy. This one is pretty much dead on because I also love the Cactus Leshy. The idea of playing a Cactus Leshy, and maybe the art has something to do with it. That little chubby thing with its little eyes, the little flower crown is just. But also shout outs to the fruit Leshy. There's the little strawberry fruit Leshy in the art, and the idea of playing an immortal spirit who takes on the embodiment of instead of a creature taking on a vegetable type form, or in this case fruit form, and then just like literally like handing magical pieces of fruit to the adventuring party. I'm like, oh, that's so good. And then to round out my list, the one that I almost lost my mind over is the Sprites, specifically the bat subtype of the Sprites, the ones that you could be like a flying fox, giant fruit bat sprite. I cannot even articulate how cool that is. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, this book is fantastic. I am looking for a party to join so I can really play and test this out. We didn't record and talk about this, but I like the idea, Max, that you had about like you would love to run like a campaign where everyone's an android trying to survive in a fantasy setting.
Oh, it would be so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. I love, to me, and I don't know where this idea first, it's not an original idea to me at all, but the idea of taking science fiction elements and putting them in a fantasy setting and then dealing with that sort of the cognitive dissonance, the disconnect of it. I mean, it's a very classic, like, I'm pretty sure Shannara is one of those. Jack Vance's Dying Earth is one of those. Like, there's a lot of instances of it.
But yeah, there's so much more in here. There's like Genie Ken.
Oh man, you could do a top 5 list of just the different types of Geniekin. Yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed that they even thought so far ahead as thinking about a type that has all the elements, not just one.
I thought that was cool. I can't remember the name of it, but their sort of take on a merfolk was very interesting.
Or Zarketi?
Yeah,
that sound right?
That sounds right. Yeah, I just thought it was neat. I think aquatic humanoid races are interesting.
Yeah, one other strong point about this book is that even though they give you new ancestries, there's variations in that ancestry.
Yes.
you could. There's so many different ways of designing your character.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to worry about making the same type over and over. And the art, like you said before, the art is fantastic. No two creatures the same.
Even just because you mentioned one of your choices was the sort of the grave orc, that one. Oh, but even just in the orc section, each different example of the art, I was like, oh, I feel like that is a different orc from a different culture.
So yes, definitely 2 huge thumbs up. We don't have a rating system, but this is great. I wanna play this so badly.
Strong agree.
All right, everyone. If you have a copy of this, let us know what you think is your favorite ancestry. Or even if it's not in this book, let us know in Pathfinder what else did you like that maybe in the core rule book or in another source book. And thank you all for watching. Stay safe out there and have a good day.